All right. I didn't see it going down that way. I did not see it going down that way, and I'll tell you, I'm not happy about having seen it go down that way. I said before this game started, I wasn't going to be too discouraged if we lost. I wasn't going to be upset about it. I understood that this Bengals team is much better than they've looked so far this season, and I understood that they needed this win way more than we did, so I understood that this was a very losable game, but there's nothing cool about the way that game went down. Nothing cool about, well, okay. There is some stuff that's really cool about it. Don't get me wrong. I'm definitely going to give credit where credit's due because there is one element of football where this team was absolutely excellent. And the fact that we could play that well on defense and still lose a game is not okay. So, praise where praise needs to be paid out. Yeah, this defense brought it. Pete Carroll had the guys ready. Clint Hurt had the guys ready. That was, I think, our best defensive game of the season, even over the game where we had 11 sacks, because that was a remedial offense. That wasn't a real NFL offense. This is a real NFL offense with an elite quarterback, and you held it down. You absolutely held it down. And for that to be the result, 17-13, my heart goes out to them. My heart goes out to every single player and every single coach on this defense, except maybe Rico Woolen. He's the one guy, if you want to try to find somebody to single out, it's Rico Woolen. Those guys gave everything they had to steal a game that we were underdogs in. And the offense, simply put, couldn't do it. And this comes a day after I saw Michael Penix with his pseudo cracked rib. It wasn't actually a cracked rib, it ended up being a cramps, whatever. He pulled it off. So for me to look at this offense and see a complete failure, that's exactly what this game is, a failure on every level imaginable. Not okay. Not even close to being okay. And this is not going to be a fun week. You come off the bye week and you play like that, that's going to make people start wondering. That's going to make people start thinking about, hey, are these the guys? That game was so bad and so costly to play that bad in that moment. People are going to start wondering, and I can't say anything bad about it because it was that bad and it was that costly. So let's start with the defense because, like I said, they played incredible. The first two drives, the Bengals go down and score touchdowns. Scripted plays, those are the rehearsed plays that the Bengals are running all week, thinking about all week. They mow down the field, no pressure on Burrow. Run defense still holds up for the most part, but you can't get off the field. And Rico Woolen gives up several big plays, including 2 touchdowns. Okay, so bad start. And then after that, you give up nothing. Couple of first downs, right? Like the whole game. After those 2 touchdowns, how many first downs did we give up? Like 4 or 5? We force a turnover on the great Joe Burrow, Trey Brown of all people. Trey Brown plays a great game. Witherspoon played a great game. Jamal Adams, Boye Mafe got a sack. I thought Draymond Jones played awesome, by the way. Jaron Reed, I know we jumped off sides a couple of times in the trenches, but I thought the defensive line played really well. The run defense clamped up, holding the Bengals to under 50 yards, 3 yards a carry. Nothing negative to say about that side of the ball. The Bobby, Brooks, very, very few mistakes. You're going to give up some points to Joey B and the Bengals when Joey B is feeling like Joey B, right? So I got so little to criticize. I mean, Trey Brown might have been our best corner today. Trey Brown, the guy who we're worried about, the guy who we're looking at and wondering, is this guy part of the good trifecta on defense here, because we know about Witherspoon and we think we know about Woolen. Trey Brown's out there getting picks on a one-on-one ball. Trey Brown's out there drawing offensive pass interference on the biggest play of the game on a one-on-one ball. Pass rush picks it up in the second half. Not perfect. Not everything we wanted, but nothing's going to be as good as what we did 2 weeks ago against the Giants, guys. So I got Nothing to say about that. Over and over and over again, the defense gets the ball back to the offense. Geno throws a pick. They return the ball to field goal range. We don't give up a yard. We give up 0 yards after the pick, force a long field goal. So, this defense right now, nothing bad to say about them. Carroll, you did your thing. Early in the game, little bit of soft zone, little bit of stuff that I didn't love, but it's scripted plays. It's a bunch of scripted plays. You clamped down when you needed to, and honestly, the way the defense played in this game, that looks to me like a defense that is ready to do something special, a defense that is ready to be part of a championship squad. I mean, other than Rico Wilmer, I'm trying to think of something else to criticize. I thought Diggs played fine. I thought Adams was actually all over the field. Witherspoon got his hands on like 3 passes. Obviously, you wish you could have turned some of those bad throws into interceptions, maybe. But you're a cornerback. You're going to be out there thinking about other things beyond just getting the pick. You're thinking about, how am I going to cover maybe the best receiver in football in Ja'Marr Chase? How am I going to handle these guys? They're so good. So, I'm not even really tripping on that one. I think this defense played championship football today, and I was not expecting it. I was expecting maybe an okay performance, but to me that was like an A to A plus performance. I know people are going to trip on the first 2 drives being long touchdown drives for the Bengals, but I'm telling you, if your expectation is you're just going to completely shut the Bengals out and not let them do anything the whole game, you need to understand where the NFL is right now as a league. Teams do not do that. So, yeah, nothing bad to say about the defense, really. This is all about the offense, and every single level of the offense failed today. And it failed in such an alarming way that people are going to be freaking out this week. And I get it. There's a little part of me that is freaking out, I think. There's a little part of me that is looking at this thinking, are these guys what I think they are? Shane Waldron, nothing. I think Shane Waldron's done an amazing job so far this year, but what happened today? How can you not scheme anything open? Nothing. The whole game. You can't scheme anybody open. It's mind-boggling to me. You've got maybe the best receivers in the league, and I'm looking at all 22 shot after all 22 shot that they show on the broadcast, and I'm like, what are you doing to help out your team? What are you doing to help out your players to get open? You've got all these toys to work with, and you're playing a secondary that isn't even that good. I don't think they had a Wouzier today. They're down their best cornerback, and you've got nothing? You've got all your tight ends, you've got your receivers, and I know Metcalf is not healthy, but what are we doing here? So, Waldron failed. The offensive line was atrocious. I thought the offensive line sucked in run blocking and pass protecting. At least they have some injuries. I can excuse that a little bit. But this offensive line, when we needed it, Geno constantly having pressure in his lap, constantly not really having time to let things develop. Run blocking completely deteriorated. I think Ken Walker averaged like 2 yards a carry after the first quarter. Nothing going on there. The only good running play we had for what felt like the last 3 quarters was Geno on the QB draw. So, yeah, offensive line, get well soon, Damian Lewis and Abe Lucas, because the guys we have in there have finally officially broken down. So, I'm not drilling the offensive line because I understand they're missing guys, but that was not a good game overall. That was a very frustrating game. To see Geno get pressured constantly at the end of that game was really annoying. And believe me, Geno's getting it too. Geno is getting it too. So, stay tuned for that. Receivers, get open. I mean, my God. I mean, I put the blame on Waldron a lot for that, but these receivers not getting open against not particularly good corners. Like, my God, this Bengals secondary lost Jesse Bates, and they don't have Chidobe Awuzie. This is not a very good NFL secondary. Win your one-on-one battles. Get open against the single coverage. Run better. Like that blew my mind. Yeah. Just every level of this offense failed, from the coaching to the receivers to the offensive line and the quarterback. So, that was, I think, the worst game Geno's played in Seattle. Some of those sacks are on him. Some of the plays where there's pressure that blows up the play are on him. Like, and the red zone at the end of the game, he spins back into the coverage. That's the stuff that Russell Wilson did that made us fall out of love with him. That's why Russell Wilson isn't here anymore. Why are you doing that? Spinning back into the pressure. Straight out of the Russell Wilson playbook. 4th down with 2 minutes left. As far as you know, the game is on the line. How are you taking a sack? Just throw it. Just fling it into the end zone. What do you think is going to happen that's so bad? They pick it off. Who cares? It's incomplete. Who cares? Nothing bad can happen. Just fling it up into the end zone. Let DK Metcalf go up and try to get it. And then if DK gets an opportunity to catch it and he doesn't get it, then okay, we're mad at DK. So that game was so bad, and I know the numbers are not going to be terrible. He threw for over 300 yards. I'm telling you, do not drink the Kool-Aid on those numbers. You need to be better in the red zone, because here's the thing. We did show improvement on 3rd down in this game. We did actually show some improvement on 3rd down in this game, but it was completely negated by the complete ineptitude in the red zone. And one of the interceptions was not his fault, and I'm going to get to Metcalf in a second here. I got to single him out for the end of this video. But that game was so bad for Geno. That game was so bad for Geno. Even a guy like me, who you guys know, I like Geno. I believe in Geno. Even that game makes me go, how does Drew Lock look in practice? It was that bad. Because I don't really believe that much in Drew Lock. I'm not super high on him. Some people are really high on him. I'm not. But that game was so bad. I'm like, okay, what are we missing? What are we losing with Drew Lock, really? Because the decisions today were awful. Holding onto the ball like he's got glue on his hands on some of these plays. That's what we were trying to get away from when we moved on to you as the quarterback. And this doesn't take away from his previous good performances, don't get me wrong, but that was awful. And if you play a bad game, we win. If Geno Smith plays a bad game, we win. Geno Smith played an awful game, and that's what it took for us to lose. Literally, he makes one play at the end of the game, we win. He has the exact same game he does. He makes one play at the end, he wins. And, of course, I'm not going to put it all on him, but there was enough to put on him to make me wonder, like, wait a minute. Wait a minute here. What's going on? What is this? And DK Metcalf, I got to single him out in particular here. I know you're in pain. I know it hurts. I know you're going through some stuff, and I appreciate the toughness, but my God, dude. It's what, the first quarter? Early in the second quarter? You're so mad you didn't get the ball that you go take it out on Cam Taylor-Britt? It's not his fault. Okay, you got open. Geno didn't get you the ball. Why are you going at him? 15-yard penalty. Lucky it didn't kill the drive. Thank you, Tyler Lockett. Maybe the one receiver who I feel positive emotions about right now. And then later in the game, you get the ball thrown your way and you don't even go for it. You just stand there and watch it get intercepted. The second interception, I think, is like 98% Metcalf and 2% Geno. So for you to throw a fit that you're not getting the ball, and I understand you were open, but it happens. Sometimes players get open and don't get the ball thrown their way. It happens. And then for you to get the ball thrown your way later in the game and not even go for it, not okay. And people are getting sick of it. We talked about this after week 1, and then you were quiet for about a month. People are going to get sick of it. I'm not saying I'm sick of it. I think a lot of it's overblown, but what happened today was not okay. Because not only did you do the stupid emotional thing where you allow a 15-yard penalty to get called on your head, but then after that, you actually get a play called for you. You get the throw your way. It's not a great throw, but you definitely could have at least done something about it. Instead, you're standing there watching it get picked off. So, DK, get on notice here. And, I mean, that's pretty much every level of the offense. And they need to be called out because every level of the offense failed. So yeah, I didn't think I was going to be hot after that game, but I am just a little bit because that game was there for us. The defense played lights out for basically the last 40 minutes. Lights out performance. And this offense, man, not okay. The investments on this offense are such that we should expect better than that every week. The Bengals defense is not that good. They have some good players, but it's an average defense. There is no excuse for playing like that. So, this is going to be a tough week for the offense to answer for that. The defense might not play a better game the rest of this season, and I'm serious. I know some people are going to say, 17 points is okay. No, 17 points against that Bengals offense, tip of the cap. Us, the defense, getting stop after stop after stop at the end of that game, getting the offense the ball back, what felt like 800 times, tip of the cap. So everything, except maybe Rico, like I said, clicked on that defense. And the offense can't get out of their own way to win a game. Even if we had won the game at the end there on that final drive, it still would have been a bad game for the offense, but at least they would have gotten it done at the most important moment. Forcing the ball to JSN when there's just no need for that. What's up with that? Look, JSN will get the ball when the time comes. When the time comes for JSN to get the ball, you don't need to force nothing. He will get the ball. He will get his opportunities naturally in the offense. You don't need to feel like, oh, I got to get him a touchdown here. Embarrassing. Pathetic. And like I said, that's the kind of stuff that's going to get Drew Lock out there on the field sooner rather than later. And you know, I'm like I said, I'm a Geno guy. I like Geno. I believe in Geno. But that game by him was so bad, and the way in which it was bad, careless with the ball, indecisive, scared, holding onto the ball too long, making bad plays worse. He could have had other interceptions in this game, including the one right at the very end. So, there's nothing on this offense except maybe Tyler Lockett. And, I mean, I guess Walker did what he could. He didn't have a good game, but I don't think Walker necessarily did anything wrong. But get well soon, Abe Lucas, I guess, because Curhan's done what he can, but I think he's hit the end of the line here. And, yeah, opportunity to make up for it in the coming weeks, but that was not the way that game needed to go down. I'll see you guys later for the stream. Go Hawks. But, yeah, that was not the way I wanted to see that one go down.